Welcome back. You're now watching the lifestyle segment on the weekend show brought to you by Holocrunch Popcorn. Today we'll be discussing recovery post the COVID-19 pandemic, how businesses are thriving and coping, and what several people are doing in the space as a sign of recovery from the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the outbreak of the coronavirus presented the world with a lot of issues. A lot of it includes unemployment, rising rates of inflation, and even global economies contracting. In addition to the human impact, there is a lot of significant economic and business and commercial impact being felt globally. On the show today, we take a look at how business development post-COVID-19 and how entrepreneurs and business people are faring post-pandemic as the rest of the world opens up. To discuss this with me on this segment, we have Jackson Swawari, who is a ballpoint paint artist, and I found her on Instagram about a year ago, and I was just going through stuff and I saw some painting, and when I saw she was using pens, I was like, wow. We had to meet you, we had to know you. And so for people like Jacqueline, we want to know how it's been in the last year and how it's going to be going forward. So welcome to the Weekend Show, Jacqueline.
Thank you very much for having me.
So tell me, how long have you been doing this? I think your work is phenomenal. How long have you been doing this? How did this happen, first of all?
What happened? The art?
You getting into the art and painting and doing this beautiful work which we get to see.
Okay, so I have been drawing, like, I think for as long as I can remember, since I was a toddler. And I can't pinpoint the time in my life when I started drawing, but I'm sure that when I was 5, I was already drawing. And I'm sure that since I started, I haven't wanted to look back. I have been practicing my art professionally now for 10 years. This is the 11th year, actually, because, of course, they don't count the years when you're studying arts in school. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing all my life, and I would rather not be doing anything else, actually.
So we found out that a lot of sectors were affected in the last year because of the pandemic, or like a friend likes to call it the pandemic. How did this affect your work? Would you say it affected your work positively or negatively?
I like to be very optimistic about situations, but of course, at the beginning of the pandemic, especially during the lockdowns, there was this, because a lot of my art comes from an emotional place, so there was this, should I say, short, dry spell that came from the uncertainties that came with the news and, the news of the deaths and all that stuff. But, as more and more time passed in lockdown, realized that, this is more time to channel new energies and new ideologies and stuff into my work, things that weren't there before. Because the lockdown, for a lot of people, gave us, time to sit and ponder and wonder if really this is the life you want to believe in, if really, really what's more to life than, just the normal everyday, wake up, go out, come back. The lockdown gave us more time to understand life for what it really is, yeah, so.
So did you get any fresh inspiration for new work?
Of course, I had a lot of inspiration.
You want to tell us about some of the results of that?
Okay, yeah, so before the lockdown, I was working towards a solo exhibition, and during the lockdown, I had more, should I say more material to infuse into my exhibition. In fact, as a result of the lockdown, I had, I'd come to study new should I say, new philosophies of the human mind. And so it helped me to just infuse that into my work,
Okay, we'll talk about your exhibition soon, but I have Ehi Silence. He is the MD and CEO of Gyra Technologies Limited, joining us virtually. Good morning, Ehi, and welcome to the Weekend Show.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Trust you are good this morning.
Yes, we are. So we are talking about business development post the pandemic, even though it's not fully gone, but we're now almost at a recovery stage. And so we're talking about how it has affected entrepreneurs, businesses in different sectors. So Can you tell us about how the pandemic affected your sector in the last 1 year and how you are moving into recovery at this current time?
Well, in the last 1 year, it's been very, very interesting. Um, it may not be right for me to judge with what is happening to us as an organization. Maybe I just introduce myself so that at least the audience will know who is talking. My name is Ehi Silence, as has been said. I'm the CEO of Gyre Technologies Limited. So that's an oil and gas servicing company. We render ICT services to the oil and gas company. So I will say that within this pandemic, and as an organization that is a service oriented, we're seriously impacted. But however, the negative impact has come and is going, because I mean it's generally a human race, the entire global phenomenon. So today things are picking up, but the effect of the pandemic has been very, very drastic. So we are picking up. The oil and gas was worse hit. The service organization obviously would have been affected. So, but a lot of things have been done within the last 1 year to come up to stream. Yes.
So, in recent times, as a result of climate change, a lot of organizations in the world generally has been pushing for a reduction in production of fossil fuels, carbon emissions, and Nigeria as a country, we've lost a lot of revenue as a result of oil, and so even this year, the NNPC has recorded losses. How sustainable is the oil and gas sector in Nigeria? So are you people moving towards biofuel, or will you continue? Is it back to the same?
Well, like I said, our organization is an oil and gas servicing company. So we do ICT to the oil and gas. So we are a bit close to what is going on. Now, globally, there have been a de-emphasis on the oil itself. Now, when you say oil and gas, there is oil exploration and production. There is also gas exploration and production. So the emphasis is shifting currently globally because of the global demand for gas to gas. So the emphasis for the oil and emphasis for the gas. So that is the transition, and that transition is come in for so many years and is still ongoing. So every organization, whether IOC, international oil companies, or even the locals, they are looking at the destination for gas. So this is exactly what is happening currently.
Okay, thank you. Let's come back to Jacqueline. The informal sector contributes largely to the Nigerian economy, and so people are now making money off skills, off talent, people like you. And entrepreneurs, we're having more entrepreneurs day by day, even though some of us feel this is as a result of the increasing rate of unemployment in the country. Were you self-taught? And for people who want to do what you do, is there a pathway to it?
I wasn't, okay, well, the idea of self-taught, I think it's a narrative that varies. So people say they are self-taught, but at the end of the day, they go to YouTube, they learn things, they go to school, they learn stuff, but you come out and say you're self-taught. I don't think anybody in themselves are self-taught, but I guess I went to school and studied fine arts, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then for anybody who wants to do what I'm doing in the sense, are you asking what I'm doing in the sense of my art, or what I'm doing in the sense of being an entrepreneur and pursuing my dreams?
So more of being an entrepreneur in the art space.
Okay, an entrepreneur in the art space. Okay, so basically, art is something that you do with passion. It's something that comes from inside. First of all, I would say, are you passionate about what you're doing? Is it something that keeps you up at night because you have an idea that you can't wait to, release to the world? Is it something that burns in your soul? If it's not, then of course it's not for you. because it's the passion that will keep you going when things get dry, because things do get dry sometimes. It's not all roses in the beginning, but it's the passion that will keep you going. And, you know, anything you're doing, if you don't have a passion for it, it will fall to the ground eventually, yeah. So first of all, you should have the passion, and definitely you should adjust your skills, you know, because skill sets are very important. You know, there's something one of my friends used to say. She used to say, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. It's something that has stuck with me through the years. And no matter what, even if you think you have the talent, you have the passion, if you don't work hard, it would all just, you know, go away. So
I see some of your work on the screen, and I see you doing your work, and I think it's brilliant. Before I let you go, tell me about your upcoming exhibition, which I saw on your I found out that you have planned. What's that about and when?
The title of the exhibition is Now I Wear Myself. It's an exhibition that has been in the works for almost 2 years now, almost 3 years if I would say. And I'm actually very excited, you know, to show what I've been working on, what the things that, you know, like I said, during the lockdown, the new inspirations I got, you know, and the topics that I'm exploring. The exhibition, it's something that, you know, is also introducing new aspects of art that I haven't, you know, dabbled into before, like performance art, like video installations and stuff. Things that, you know, I think the lockdown generally just gave me the boldness to be like, I'm an artist, why am I restricting myself to only the ballpoint pen? I would probably be drawing for the rest of my life. But there are other means of expressions that the ballpoint pen cannot allow me to do. So yeah, that exhibition is something that's, you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they executed. Okay, so the exhibition is on the 25th of June next month at the Retro Africa Art Gallery, yes.
Okay, so is there money in art in Nigeria?
Of course.
And what advice do you have to entrepreneurs post-COVID and how their businesses can recover?
I would say post-COVID, everybody's almost like reinventing themselves. Something that doesn't change, that doesn't move towards new things will become obsolete. I mean, nobody has that landline. Remember the landline that we used to ring?
Yeah.
Nobody has that landline anymore. We all have cell phones. People don't walk around with calculators, MP3 players, all these things. Our phone can do all that stuff. So I think as an entrepreneur, what I would advise is, you know, find ways to reinvent yourself, to find new ways of doing old things, basically. Because people get bored of old stuff.
So constantly reinventing yourself.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Ehi for his final words on survival of businesses. We've seen a lot of businesses have failed and shut down, not just Nigeria, but globally. And so how do you feel the government and the people should work towards recovering the economy and sustaining businesses as we go forward?
Well, thank you very much for that question. As an actor in the Nigerian economy, we have a little to say, but maybe I just talk a little on sustaining our business before I go to what government will have to do, you know, in this regard. This is the area, sustaining our business is the area where we need now to be loudly resilient. All oil and gas service provider must go into their cocoon to immediately start to re-strategize a new sustainable business model. Now, today, innovation and creativity is very key, very, very important. We must not rest and wait for things to happen. We must be the change that we desire, even in our economy as a service provider, you know, targeting the oil and gas company. Looking out for other opportunities, solutions, to serve the industry is key. We need to re-strategize. We need to re-strategize. You just mentioned reinventing. We need to reinvent ourselves. We need to reinvent our businesses. And indeed, if we don't reinvent ourselves, we will not be able to reinvent our business. So as entrepreneurs, as people who serve organizations, as a service provider, we need to reinvent ourselves first, and then we can reinvent our business. Now, we must embrace new technology as a people. You know, there's a serious gap in our nation, particularly in Africa, where, you know, digitalization is concerned. That is the name of the game today. We must revamp our marketing, optimize fund opportunities. A lot of people will say we don't have money. That's why we are not doing business. We are not flourishing. You don't need money first to do business. What you need is an idea and your passion. And money will fall in when the time comes. All right. So let's look for other opportunities at this time to sustain our business. Export, looking for business that is dollar dominated, because today, you can see the economy is hit by the devaluation, economically of our naira. So we need to do something. Now, coming to the government, I cannot see, currently, or specifically what the government is doing in this regard. So we literally have to help ourselves, out of this situation. So the government in the oil and gas has what they call for SME, relief package, fund grants and so on and so forth. But there are very stringent measures in getting these funds. So that's the only thing I know. And then the local content board also have what they call R&D, Research and Development Fund, which entrepreneurs can access, particularly SMEs. So these are the only ways I know the government can help. But literally, there's no specific, funding instrument or channel for the government, for the service provider.
His Highness, that's a very good place to leave it. Thank you for your time and for honoring our invitation to be on this show. We hope to have you again when we need your opinion on the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Your work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think your work is brilliant. Nkechi Reviews on our Instagram page saw your work and says art is life, and she loves your work. And we do as well. Wish you all the best in your exhibition.
Thank you so much.
As much as you could train and groom upcoming artists, please do, because we only grow by teaching and training other people. It's been nice having you on the weekend
It's a
show.
pleasure. Pleasure's all mine.
Yours at home. A recurring word which I heard was reinventing yourself and embracing new technologies and innovation. And so as the world reopens post-pandemic, even though the virus is still out there, learn new things, reinvent yourself, and embrace new technologies. We have more on the weekend show, so don't go away. We'll be back shortly.